The April market numbers are in. Now, keep in mind, these numbers reflect what was happening before the election results were in. Buyers were sitting on the sidelines. Sellers were not sure what to expect. The whole market was in wait-and-see mode. So what exactly happened? After the worst March we have seen in 23 years, April showed a bit of life. Sales were up about 12% compared to March. Finally, some movement. But if we zoom out, things are still not pretty. Sales were down 23.3% compared to April 2024, and prices still under pressure because inventory remained high. In both the 416 and 905 areas, detached homes and condos are both down about 6 to 7% year over year. Townhouses are still holding steady in the city of Toronto, but in the 905 area, they are down roughly 5%. Now that the Liberals have won, are we going to see a different picture? Many of you are interested in Markham, Richmond Hill, Vaughan, and Mississauga. So in today's video, we are going to break things down to see how each housing type is performing and how the numbers compare across the city of Toronto, York region, and Peel region. Let's start with the detached houses, and there's quite a story to tell across the regions. In the city of Toronto, there were 728 detached home sales in April, with an average price of about $1.7 million. Right now, there are over 2,500 detached homes on the market. That gives us roughly 3.5 months of inventory, which puts Toronto in the seller's market territory. And homes priced around the $2 million mark are moving particularly well. Now let's head up to the York region. Sales were noticeably lower, only 440 detached homes sold in April, with an average price of about $1.6 million. But inventory, even higher than Toronto. With that much supply and slower sales, York region now has about 6.5 months of inventory, which puts it in a buyer's market. Indeed, it took quite a while for us to sell a detached homes in Richmond Hill. The demand just isn't there right now. And here's the fun fact. Vaughan, Markham, and Richmond Hill made up over 60% of all detached home sales in the entire York region. Lastly, let's talk about the Peel region, mainly Mississauga and Brampton. The average detached price here is around $1.3 million, quite a bit more affordable than York region and Toronto. There were 426 sales in April and nearly 2,400 listings, giving us about 5.6 months of inventory. That puts Peel in a marginally balanced market, slightly better than York region, likely because of the more attractive price point. Now, let's talk about townhouses, and they are actually holding up better than you might expect. In the city of Toronto, there were 71 townhouses sales in April, with an average price of almost $1.4 million. Inventory sits at around 3.7 months, which keeps Toronto in seller's market territory, similar to what we are seeing the detached homes. Over in York region, there were 148 townhouses sales, more than double Toronto's volume, with an average price of about $1.1 million. But here is the catch. There are also more than double the number of listings. That pushes months of inventory to 4, right on the edge between balanced and seller's market. So the townhouse market is still doing pretty well in the York region. Now in the Peel region, there were 96 townhouse sales, with a much more affordable average price of around $860,000. Inventory here is at 4.4 months, which means Peel region townhouse market is still quite healthy compared to other segments. As you can see, the townhouse segment is doing very well across the board. Now, the talk of the town, condos. How bad is it? Well, condos top all housing type in sales volume, with 925 units sold in April. The average price? Around $710,000. But the problem is, they also topped in inventory. There were over 6,300 active listings in the city of Toronto right now. That gives us nearly 7 months of inventory, definitely in a buyer's market. Yes, it is tough out there if you are trying to sell a condo. That said, it is not impossible. We have had some real success stories, like the ones you saw in the opening trailer. The key is having the right combination of pricing, presentation, and timing. If you are struggling to sell your condo, let's talk. You can book a call with me at the link below. Now, over to the York region. Condo sales were much lower. Just 190 units sold in April, with an average price of around $670,000. York region still has 6 months of inventory, also a buyer's market. In Peel region, it is a similar story. Only 165 condos sold last month, with an average price of about $540,000. And the inventory? Almost 7 months again. A tough market for sellers. So, what's the bottom line? Townhouses are clearly leading the way in this end-user-driven market. They offer that perfect middle ground, more space than condo, but still more affordable than a detached home. And for young families, they check all boxes. Detached homes are doing okay, especially in the city of Toronto, where demand is holding up for that $2 million price point. But in the 905, things are slower. York region, in particular, is feeling the weight of high inventory and cautious buyers. And condos, they are under the most pressure across all regions. Now that the election is over, will confidence return? Will buyers start coming off the sideline? Will sellers adjust? I will be watching the market very closely and will let you know once I spot any shifts. If you want to stay on top of the market, you know what to do. Make sure you subscribe and hit the bell right now.